I'm like, shout out to my nigga fucking Cell. If he get locked up, I get him bail.
Uknowcell.
What up, man? You logged on right now to Uknowcell.com. I'm here at Digital Labor Studios reporting live with my dog Phil Swish. What's the deal, bro?
Yo. What's the deal, man? Appreciate you having me.
Cool. I appreciate you falling through, man.
Always from the east to the west.
You know it. Let's get into it, man. First and foremost, for people who may not know who you are, this is their first time viewing you. Give a little bit of background about yourself. Let them know exactly who you are. You know, the social media and things like that.
All right, for sure. So it's Phil Swish on everything when it comes to the social media. Definitely present on there. You know what I'm saying? So you can holler at me via that. Putting music out. Phil Swish on SoundCloud mainly right now. Working on a new album. We can talk a little bit more about that.
For sure.
But 6 Mile, Connor, East Side, where I grew up. You know what I'm saying? Thorough background, you know what I'm saying? Run with some thorough niggas. That's pretty much what I'm about.
For sure.
Dope beats, dope rhymes, you know what I'm saying? Fly shit. That's
For sure.
In a nutshell, you feel me? That's what it is.
I feel that. And I'm privileged enough to been able to heard your music.
Right.
But for those who haven't heard your music, can you describe your sound and where that sound came from?
I would say definitely like rugged fly shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I would like describe. Like, I guess the content sonically, I come from that background, the real hip hop. You know what I mean? I've been blessed to have many talents, so along with being able to rhyme, I would say, well, I can also do, you know, some vocalizing. So it's mainly just soulful shit. Like, I really like studied a lot of Jay. I studied a lot of Kanye, you know what I'm saying? I studied some Lauryn Hill, you know what I'm saying? I think just from that golden era, you know, there was just so much great music, so much like good content. So I feel like modern hip hop where it is right now is fantastic, and like you gotta blend those elements, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But overall, like, I guess that's the style or the sound that I kind of really like grew into or grew up from, and so I kind of carry that on with me, and I guess like that's the best way to describe that.
I definitely feel you. You say you're working on an album now, but before we get to that, let's talk about some of the things that you have already dropped. Can you run down some of the projects or some of the songs? Like, if someone if someone said, yo, give me 3 songs to go listen to that describe you, or you feel like I can definitely get to know you by, what would be those songs?
Okay. Well, so I'll go with, like, I guess the most known, which is Asic Flow 2. About 100,000 plays on SoundCloud.
That's what's up. Salute.
So, you know, shout out to everybody that helped out to, you know, get that record where it is. And like, yeah, so I would say that would probably be number 1 if people wanted to draw off of that, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But for me also, I say Horizons, you know what I'm saying? Horizons is probably one of my favorites. That was on my first project, Woe, Trials and Triumphs. I released that 2015. Okay. So in between that, of course, releasing music, ATCS, which stands for As They Count Sheep. I got this thing with this whole sheep thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it signifies a lot of different things. Working up to a full, like, conceptualized project or album or musical experience called Black Wool. So, yeah, like Woe, Trials and Triumphs, the EP. That was the first joint, 5 records, probably over about 60,000 plays collectively on SoundCloud right now. Please check that out. It's just, you know, a solid blend of sound, solid blend of hip hop that I think, you know, a lot of people will get into. Shout out to the squad, Creative Mind Coalition. My man Ashton Woods did a lot of production on that. Y'all may know him from doing production for other, you know what I'm saying, other great Detroit artists, you know what I'm saying? Probably most notably would be Dej Loaf. And like, you know what I'm saying, like, it was definitely a pivotal moment in my artistry to do a project like that. But yeah, moving on, ATCS, which is like a single from last year. As They Count Sheep, just a dope record. So yeah, like Asic Flow 2, Horizons, ATCS, I think that's a full range of what Phil Swish is doing, you know what I'm saying, with music. Like, for real.
That's
and some dope shit to come, like some real dope shit.
I mean, so let's get into it, man. 2015 to now, that's 2 years, man. So,
right.
Let's talk about the new project.
Okay.
What's the difference between the new project and the things that you already dropped?
Well, first and foremost, sonically, this album will be a live album, live instrumentation.
Yeah, people ain't really doing that. That's kind of dope.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying. I definitely can notice, you know what I'm saying, a few maybe in the industry, I guess, you know what I'm saying, bigger up. But like in terms of what's going on here, I feel like it's not a lot going on. It's not a lot going on here right now with that type of thing, or at least making albums. So that's something I definitely wanted to put my attention and put my energy into. Looking to make it about 12 tracks.
Okay.
Not totally sure about a title yet. I don't want to announce that just yet.
That was gonna be my next question.
But I do got a couple. I got a couple options that I'm really, really feeling strong about.
And,
so.
And neither one of the options you want to like drop exclusively here. No.
Nothing is reasonable.
Okay.
June 25th is the projection.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Let's get into who do you have in the studio with you doing these live instruments? Like what was the thought process behind that, and who is helping you bring your vision to the forefront?
All right, I appreciate that. Shout out to my man 87. Came to me not too long ago, wanted to put together a live show. We worked real hard, bust our ass to like put this show together, you know what I'm saying, and make it like something dope. Had a free show over at Rock City Records just last month, March the 10th.
Okay.
It was featured in the Metro Times, along with like probably right after was like this whole like a group article, Creative Mind Coalition CMC, 2-page spread on that, you know what I'm saying? So it's like consecutive, like, you know, shout out to the Metro Times for holding it down. So we put this show together. March the 10th was the date, and ever since then, like pretty much, even during the process, a lot of chemistry was built between me and the other musicians. Shout out to Kev Christian, the key player. Shout out to Sean J on drums, Mirage Virtuoso on violin, Satomi the Red Fox on guitar, and my man Mike M, the OG, on bass. You know what I'm saying? And we had a dope show, man. It was a free event, you know what I'm saying? So we definitely planning to do something like that very, very soon in the future. And yeah, man, like great turnout, free food, like, you know what I'm saying? Like Nick Speed was DJing. Shout out to Nick Speed.
Salute Nick Speed. That's dope.
It was dope, bro. It was a dope scene for sure.
And you keep saying CMC, so let's get into that. Let's talk about who's a part of CMC.
So I would say Aston Woods, myself, and my man Black Nicks, B Nicks, is the founders of CMC.
Okay.
We pretty much started that, like, the whole concept probably back in like 2008, something around that time, when we were first making music as a group, The Source, and which we still make music together, you know what I'm saying? Like, and yeah, so pretty much like that grew into collecting other members that we felt like were, you know, just as talented, just as like-minded, just as driven as us. So yeah, it's a whole list of us, you know what I'm saying? So like I said, Black Nicks, Aston Woods, Choice Gaines, Nolan the Ninja, Nysa, Solomon Rich, Eli Miles, Brando Heat, a vocalist, Ace Pearl, you know what I'm saying? And even shout out Dej Loaf, you know what I'm saying, for the time that she, you know what I'm saying, put in as, you know, as a group member at CMC. We definitely supporting her, you know what I'm saying, and all of her endeavors and shit like that. So, dope shit, man.
That's what's up. Sure. And I wanted to ask this question. As far as Detroit, from the outside looking in, people always say Detroit has this certain sound, but then you have that sound, and then some people will say there's a sound that you have. Do you feel like the sound that you have gets the recognition that it deserves, or does it? How do you feel about that, just in general?
I feel you. I get this question quite a bit, and I feel like it just needs to be a better balance overall. It's my thing is like just shining light on some of the MCs that I guess could be somewhat synonymous with what we do.
Right.
You know, artists like Black Milk, Royce, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, shout out Big Tone, like I said, 87, like shout out, you know, Danny, you know what I'm saying, Danny Brown, like all these cats, you know, not to go down like a whole long list, you know, Dilla, you know what I'm saying, like Slumville, you know what I'm saying, LZT3, rest in peace by 10, you know what I'm saying, like all of these artists who I feel like kind of possess a certain type of vibe, but overall we from the same city.
Exactly.
We from like the same soil. So a lot of it, you know what I'm saying, is some of the same like content or origin, you know what I'm saying? That's what you getting. That's the vibes that you getting through the lyrics. But it's just on a different palette.
Just a different wave. Yeah,
it's a different canvas. You know what I'm saying? If rap is art, if hip hop is art, then I would say it's just on it's on a different canvas for sure. You know what I'm saying? No doubt. For sure. My bad.
Yeah, for sure. I just really felt like I wanted to ask that question because I feel the way that you feel. The same way. I think it definitely needs to be a balance from radio and just in general from people. I always people ask me all the time, and I just be like, man, the average Detroiter is just ratchet, bro. Like that's what I equate it to. You know what I mean? Like they just like the ratchetness. They ready to turn up. You know what I mean? So I mean, I appreciate all the music.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Say,
as
like,
a fan of it,
our vibe is maybe just a little bit more sophisticated, ratchet. But
right.
But then so like I said, it's just a different canvas, bro. Like. Niggas is talking about, getting to the check, you know what I'm saying? Niggas is talking about, the hardships and the struggles are coming up, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And, it's, like I said, essentially, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same thing. We all know somebody that's going through it. We all know somebody that might have passed away.
Mm-hmm.
We all know somebody that's on the block, you know what I'm saying? Some of us been in that position before, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's just, like I said, it's some of the same stories, just different canvas, bro. You feel me?
So just lastly, anything that you want to say to fans, supporters, and like I said when we first started, anybody who may be first viewing you here on Uknowcell.com, just some last words to them.
First and foremost, much love yourself. Shout out to my man Uknowcell.
Salute.
Shout out to my man Zach Lang, director, cinematographer, photographer, you know what I'm saying? We put this dope visual together.
Don't say cameraman.
You feel me? Like, give him his props. So again, shout out to the whole city. Shout out to all of our teams coming downtown Detroit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm happy about that, even though I know traffic gonna be crazy. Shout out to shout out to the east side, shout out to the west side, shout out to Zorbas, Coney Island, nigga.
Real D shit.
But shout out to all my niggas on the 6. We in here, man. That's all I gotta say, man. Love.
You know it, man. I appreciate you stopping through. Spending this time with me, man. You've been logged on to Uknowcell.com. I go by the name of Uknowcell. It's my dog Phil Swish. We out.
Phil Swish, Swisher man.